Greetings, my fellow South African brothers and sisters. I present to you part 3 of our election segment, your guide to making an informed decision on the South African national and provincial election. Get ready for yet another exclusive insider's look into the heart of South Africa's politics as we approach the election date. Join us as we dive deep into a candid engagement between the controversial political figure Julius Malema and the South African's top media practitioners. Brace yourselves for unfiltered insights, tough questions, and bold answers in this must-watch exchange.
So, can a person go to parliament today? Yes. You can join at 8 o'clock, by 4 o'clock you're in parliament. There's no problem. Why do you take them to parliament? Why do you send Mukwebane to parliament so quickly and money and it's because these are experienced administrators. The EFF has reached a point where it must not just only attract the activists. It has to get professionals who are now going to make sure that the EFF's input is a well thought of input, it's implementable, and this is how we go about it. So, we cannot recruit an advocate, recruit a former GCIS spokesperson, and then recruit Eugene, who's got this influence in the art sector, and say, no, go and spend time in the branch. In the branch was sorted. We don't want anyone to spend time there. We're fine. We now go and help us to make well-informed input when it comes to art in parliament. The organization is well-guarded, is safeguarded. We don't worry about it. We worry about government. I just said to you now, we can propose now Lady Pando to be a minister of international relations because she's got qualities. She doesn't have to be a member. So, for 30 years, we suffered from illiteracy and incapacitated leadership, which blackmailed us with struggle credentials. We've honored them, it's done now. We've given them the honor and all of that. They can't take you beyond anywhere. If you want to know that these people are stuck, go and ask Lindiwe Zulu, why are you not paying social grants on time? We liberated you. We went to the camps and we fought for this country. We're talking about grants. But Fanon speaks about those people. That these guys, when they get power over a period of time, they can't explain their purpose except to plug you and permanently hold you in the struggle credentials. They don't know anything now. So, you ask anyone, even Ramaphosa, you guys, at least that one you made noise about it. He was talking about struggle, this struggle, that. The liberation movement after 30 years in power self-destruct. And it doesn't matter whether the EFF is there or not. It will self-destruct. And therefore it requires, by the time it self-destruct, there should be a formidable alternative for the rejected masses of our people. So that's what we're trying to do with the safeguarding of the EFF. So I'm available to be president of the EFF in December. I'm not, the reason why I'm not saying is because I'm not asked. I will answer it. If they come to me, I'm going to say, hey, I've been waiting for that question. I will answer it with branches, then I will answer it there. Our conference is in December, by the way. It's not going to change that. No matter the outcome of the elections, we must stick to the constitutional requirements of the EFF. By the way, we are the only organization that got formed after 1994 which does this thing. Your favorite Action SA 405 Mashaba Because 405, even when Mashaba brushes the teeth, they are calling him. Stop what you doing. I saw a debate, I don't know which channel was that, of 3 leaders, ANC, DAEFF, Action SA, and this the other one. I'm like, what measures are you guys using to decide to exclude the IFP and the Freedom Front? Because kelinale re twaitsanga batho motho utlile mo ba re mampela rampela hey hodio. She got 4 seats, no 2. It was her and Towama. Towama dismissed mampela rampela. But let's go and check the amount of coverage you gave on Mampelaram. What measures does the 405 use and the Mail and Guardian use to exclude parties with evidence that they've got support? Why? If you want a debate of new parties, do it. They must debate amongst themselves. I told Musima Iman on Twitter, the last time Musima Imani trended and appeared in front of a newspaper, it's when he tried to do that thing of twa with me on Twitter. And I said to him, I will talk to you after the elections because we are not equal. I'll talk to him after the elections. You want a debate of those people, call them alone. What criteria are you using? And I don't understand. Why is the IFP keeping quiet? Why is the Freedom Front keeping quiet? Why is everybody with evidence of electoral support keeping quiet? I have no problem with you debating the new political parties that are not represented in parliament. You can have them. But do not call political parties that are in parliament with people who are not sure are going to be in parliament. Comrades, that thing is very difficult. That thing of the votes. You go into a ward, call gogos into a tent, give them 100 blankets, 100 food parcels, food, everything, dance, nice. They go home. Tomorrow is by-election. Not after 2 weeks. Tomorrow, you get 30 votes. Mario, you had 100 registered gogos in a tent. Hey, hey, I always look at you, say, hey, Zuma this, hey, Zuma that. I'm like, hey, this thing. If I'm asked to do it again, I will not do it. It's not easy. Someone was saying Ace did not register, he missed the deadline of list Ace and who. I sent it to you, but there are 2. And Matunjwa, powerful man in the mines. A powerful union. What? We are going to form a political party. It came the time now to form a political party. If you don't know it, you must ask Ivan Jim. With so many buggies and posters everywhere and 400,000 registered members, only to 18,000, not more than 20,000, mainly in PE. The whole revolutionary. More. As a man paper, more. It's very difficult, this thing. So, we're not going to be called to come and debate with people who are not going to get anything. Let there be a debate of new parties. Let there be a debate of independent candidates. Let there be a debate of parties represented in parliament. I'm not saying don't cover them, but don't put them like they're our equal. We work very hard. So, I have no problem debating anyone. I was a debater, by the way, at school and won my school 10,000. And then I went to tell my mother, she's like, where's the money? The money is for the school that are useless. So I love debate. I love debate and I promote debate. It's not in the culture of South African political parties to debate, but if it gets introduced, we don't have a problem. We debate in parliament, by the way. So we really don't have a problem. I can debate President Ramaphosa. If I debate President Ramaphosa, I can tell you now, we are not going to be far apart from each other. He can't say from his mouth he doesn't want the return of the land into the hands of the people. He'll never say that. He'll never say he doesn't want the state bank. By the way, we passed that bill. He'll never say he doesn't want the nationalization of Reserve Bank. So why would you be scared to debate someone that you are most likely to agree with? And then I must now be scared to debate Steinhazen. I mean, there's no person there. We can mop the floor with him. The only thing that gives me a privilege, it's a white privilege, but the DA established infrastructure. There's already an infrastructure. That's why this matriculus can behave like he thinks he's bigger. He found it. If you put Steinhazen outside that establishment of the DA, he won't even be a councillor. He won't qualify. So, there's nothing to fear from a debate. It's all in your hands, guys. We are here. You say to us, Mail and Guardian had one in Forte. The deputy president of the EFF went, and the deputy president of the ANC ran away after confirming. We never ran away. We sent our deputy president. So there was another debate now, SABC. We sent Mzwane Lemanyi, and ANC sent Mtswaledi. And the only party that sent the president was PA, because the leadership of the PA is the membership of the PA. So they can't send any other one. So you can't say, no, take this member and send them. No. You must write that, you must have it in your mind. The leadership of PA is the membership of PA. So if they call a rally and erect a stage, they are all going to sit on the stage and there won't be anyone. And it was proven in Orlando Stadium. The leadership is the membership. So, and in the debate, as a debater, when people debate, you always have that thing. The PA president says, now the Nigerians have taken over the business of drugs in this country. And he said, prostitution. They've taken, how can that be a complaint that people have taken over the business of drugs and prostitution? From who? They took it from you. He's fighting for the business of drugs and prostitution. He said that. And if he was debating me, I was going to stop there. Are you fighting to prostitute people and sell drugs? Why do you say they've taken over? The takeover is not a problem. The problem is getting rid of drugs and arrest the criminals irrespective of their nationality. When I speak about South Africans getting jobs, getting land, getting houses, Naledi Pando being must have a South African ID, has got South African political credentials. Those are the priorities. But in saying so, I must not speak bad about my African brothers and sisters. I always say, which you deliberately don't cover and distort, the jobs in South Africa are going to be given to South Africans. The only requirement is a South African ID and qualifications. I don't have to take a platform and say, no, Zimbabwean will work here. No. But you hear what I'm saying. And of course, the Zimbabweans will work here. If there is a skill that we think they are bringing into our country, we'll definitely employ them, especially if that skill is not available. That's how the world economy is built, by the way. That's what makes America a superpower. The American military, we are told, is the one that discovered internet. But in reality, you might find that there was some young man who was so clever, and it came to their attention that, hey, there's this guy with this kind of different mind and brain. They come fetch you and say, show us here. And then from there, they finance that idea. From there, it becomes an American idea. Anyone with a skill all over the world, if Americans identify it, they don't wait for you. They come and say, we'll give you a green book. Come to America. So yeah, we hate people, even those that have skills that we don't have. We've got skills deficits. We've got, and we must admit. And one of the trainers of artisans, one of the best trainers of artisans was ESCOM, which is now paralyzed, which means there's going to be a shortage now of artisans unless we revive ESCOM and put it where it was. We in South Africa are still piloted, when you fly, by white Afrikaner males. If we want well-trained females with hours, necessary hours to be pilots who can fly commercial flights, they may be found in the continent. We may not have them here. But when you go and fetch them in the continent and bring them here to dilute that whiteness of pilot space, no, you're giving jobs to Zimbabweans because you are comfortable with giving jobs to white Afrikaner males. You don't have a problem with that. Why are we still having sectors dominated by white Afrikaner males in the areas where we don't have skills, and we don't go and borrow African skills to come here to dilute the whiteness of those sectors? That is a debate which must not be had, because people can't vote for you. If you say that, you must know votes are going. You can call us flip-floppers for what you want. Since 2013, the formation of the EFF, and 2014 manifesto of the EFF, we have never shifted, both on our economic policy and our international policy, our foreign policy. We have never shifted. And you can't come here and say, no, you are wishy-washers. We're not wishy-washers. You go and read our founding manifesto and what we're articulating now, you will realize that you are overusing the word flip-floppers, because we have never. Even when we're told that this thing of foreigners and being protective of foreigners and outsiders is going to cost you votes, we said, let it be so. I'm waiting today for anyone, and Mzwanele should have asked that question in that debate. I want someone who's going to tell me this country is a successful country economically in the world because of the fence. They put a border. After putting a border, they were very successful. You talk about borders as if border is a prerequisite for development and successful economy. What is that? What is that? We have never preached for undocumented people, because we would have said South Africans must not get IDs if we are promoting undocumented people. How do we say South Africans must have IDs, have an ID campaign during elections, and then the rest of others must not have papers? There's no such a thing. Everybody must be documented. But where you stay is immaterial. I was brought up by Peter Mokaba. Peter was close to Castle Matal. Peter, by all this time, thought Castle Matal was Tsonga because he came from Zanin. He realizes later that, no man, when are you baby? Says yes, says, all along I'm concluding that you are Tsonga. Why? It has never been any issue. Just, he's from Zanin, okay, yeah. So, it's like someone who comes and say, I'm Matala from Eastern Cape. I won't hear Matala. I'm going to hear Eastern Cape and that's it, done. But only to realize this guy is paid in Eastern Cape. Because there are people who were forcefully removed in Matala and put in Eastern Cape. And today all of them speak closer. But it's irrelevant that. I don't care about that. What is relevant is, can this comrade perform a task? I don't care about their nationality, their regionalism, tribalism, and all of that. The reason why I don't like these xenophobic things is because when they degenerate, they go to tribalism. What happens after we're done with Zimbabweans is vendors. What happens after we're done with the Swatis? So today, because of tribalism, parties are now flourishing in some in KZN who are saying we need a Zulu state, we need KZN state, and because we need a Xhosa state. Then the racists come on the other side and say we want independence of the Western Cape because they've realized you tolerate nonsense. If they know that you reject this kind of divisions, starting from the continent and all over the world, none of those people will speak that language amongst yourself. Because that language must never be appealing to any of us. Anyone who speaks division, we must say to them, no, you don't belong here. So that's all I can say. You're agitated now. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Just, Mr. Malema, I hear what you're saying, particularly on this issue of tribalism and all of that. But what happens if a guy that's named Van Rensburg comes and then he says, listen, I am here. I want to build. I want South Africa. I want to work. I want for us to work together. Because for me, there's a little bit of a distortion because just of what you had said earlier about the Afrikaner community, right? So now it's like, okay, so when you're saying that political affiliation is irrelevant, for instance, in an EFF government, does skin color matter, or is that a barrier that you're not prepared to cross?
The skin color matters because our problem was started by skin color. We must not shy away from that. And we never termed ourselves black, and we never said they are white. They are the ones who said we are black to distinguish themselves from us. So the South African problem is deep because it's racially based. So before it goes to gender, before it goes to everything, it first looks at the race. Then it can go into the other areas. I will not stop Van Tonder to come and invest in South Africa. But I will not have a sector in South Africa dominated by Van Tonder's relatives. This is exclusively theirs. When you talk agriculture today, the first thing that comes into your mind is an Afrikaner. Why are the blacks not there? They don't have the land. We're not going to say Van Tonder must go. Van Tonder, you have been having 30 hectares of land. From 1985 till to date, you only use 10 hectares. What happens to 20? What are the future plans? He's got no plans. Here is Mr. Tambo with plans. He has got no land. Use these 20 hectares of land or lose it. So we need to work together with white people. And I said in one event, when we take over some of these power stations that these people can't manage, we're going to invite these Van Tonders that were fired there to come openly. You are going to be paid on deliverables because you ought to mentor this guy. You are too old, we accept, but we can't deny the fact that we've got a skill. And we need this skill. But let it be transferred to a black person. Afrikaners, I love them the most because they've got only one passport, majority of them. Unlike these other ones, we don't know where they stand. They've got one leg this side, one leg this side. So Afrikaners are here with us. We are battling it against each other, but we are in one space. And one day, we are going to find each other. We are not fighting because we don't want each other or wish each other away. We are saying to them, let the land and the wealth of the country be shared. That's all. And that to them means, hey, you don't want to, Afrikaners, you don't want to, because they don't want to share. And most of them, by the way, don't even have title deeds for those pieces of land. If we're to conduct land audit and ask them to produce title deeds, they don't have. They gave each other land before the negotiations because they said to these guys, this thing is inevitable, you ought to be sorted out now. So, there is a comrade of the EFF in Midval. When we're doing land occupation, when people were doing those occupations for residential, he went to occupy a farm. And there was a farmer there who said, I'm going to shoot you. This is my land. He said, you will never do that. We're neighbors. I'm taking from here this way. You take there, go that way. It will never happen. The guy went to buy a fence and fence that place. Today he's farming pigs in that farm. They are neighbors. Even that white man advises. So I asked him, how did you succeed in taking that portion of land? He says, the community complained that guy doesn't have a title deed. So when he saw the seriousness of that fighter, he realized this thing is going to put me into trouble if I overreact. Because now I'll have to produce papers. So let me be accommodative so that there is no noise around me. So there are many like that. From Rustenburg to Mafikeng, Thandi Modise was telling us when we were still in the ANC, they were building a road from Rustenburg to Mafikeng. And then they had to go through the farms. The South African law says if you expropriate, you must compensate. Then they went to the farmers, come, bring your title deeds. We want to compensate you. But that's our contribution. Don't worry, it's a national road. They realized later they don't have title deeds. They're sitting on the land. And remember that thing of the land is very easy. We took the land in my ward, in Ward 18, there is an area there called Juju Valley, which now accommodates 3,000 families. I just said to the fighters, go and put a fence and keep quiet a little bit. Let's see what happens. We put a fence, no one says anything. So now put checks, allocate stands now. Then we put stands, allocate stands. No one says anything. Now we realize, okay, but we cut a small portion. So we keep on extending. So the information reaches these guys or no man. By the time you go there, that place will be finished. Then they make a contact. They say, hey man, want to talk. Okay, I'm listening. No, that land, what are you doing on that? They are no longer here. That was their father's land. They left it. We used to be very scared of their father, who was called Magdup, who used to monitor his fence with a pike. We're scared of their father. The next thing, this farm that we're scared of as we grow up, the fence gets stolen. There are no cattle grazing there. So I realized, man, this is available. Let's go there. We take that land. The children call when we are now extending. Say, no, come down. They come down, we speak. I say to them, no, I hear you. From today, you can't say this is your land. This one going this way with the sheikhs belongs to these people. Where now you own this one going that way. Otherwise, if we don't agree, we're proceeding this side. We can leave you with something. No problem. Just stop here. This one you can take. Then the municipality of the ANC took us to court to remove us on a private land. We arrived at court and said to the court, this one has got no standing in this court because this is a private land unless he produces a title deed. Then the court said, where's the title deed? Municipality 2, go away. We've settled there now. These guys say they are going to do metal income housing. I said to them, that's very good, but you must put water. When you put water there, you put also in the Juju Valley. When you put electricity there, you put as a social contribution so that we can protect this land. We know we are benefiting from it. So Afrikaners have got no problem to share. They want a decisive leadership that is going to say, we're moving in this direction. I did that already. And I'm not telling you a theory, it's a public thing. You can go and check it out. In what 18 in Masakane is there. They will tell you. Now put boreholes. There is a soup kitchen for those poor people there and all of that. We are now fighting in the municipality to formalize it. And the owners are ready to subdivide it and hand over the title deed to the municipality. But these crooks of the ANC wants the men to give them the price when the man has already given us the land. They say, no, you can't give it for free. You must give us the price. We pay you, then we come from the other side to take the money. We are on the land without paying a cent. The government is prepared to pay a cent. Those guys have never asked for cent. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in this crucial discussion. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video to spread awareness about the upcoming South African general election. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on part 4 and the rest of this insightful segment. Your engagement is vital as we navigate through these important matters together. Thank you and take care.